right. Hey there. Good morning. It is straight up 10 a.m. That means it's been at 10, where we're going to talk all about weather in southern Indiana, Kentucky, and beyond. And the big thing here is, I'd say the top three headlines are going to be breezy, sunny conditions today, rain Friday. We're going to time that out with the high resolution weather model data. And then we're talking about the crashing temperatures Sunday. Still a maybe if we'll see any snowflakes out of that cold air coming in Sunday and Monday. But that will just be a brief blast of some winter-like conditions heading our direction. So plenty to cover here. The severe weather threat looks low Friday, a little bit higher for parts of Kentucky. We'll explain that with the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. And let's take a look outside here live this morning with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation Cam. This is right out, if you just go to fallsoftheohio.org, and just some high clouds mixed with the sunshine. As we get started, too, just want to say, really thinking a lot about the UPS plane tragedy, the emergency responders, the families involved, the businesses there. Just a tragedy, and just want to put that out there this morning before we get going. So it is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day to you, November the 5th, and we've got nice weather through tomorrow. Lots of sunshine. We got that bump in the road with that front that'll move in Friday, and then quiet Saturday. Then again, those crashing temperatures on Sunday. Taking a look at the current conditions, you can easily see there is a front actually moving into the region today, but it is a dry front. So as we look at this, we've got a southwest breeze coming in today, and some gusts around 15 to 30 miles per hour. And then behind that front, it's cold up to the northwest in the 20s and 30s. And we're really not going to get that cold weather. We're just going to drop to the lower 40s later on tonight, and then lower 60s for highs for tomorrow. So no big impact whatsoever with that front for our area. We're going to see that stronger, more winter-like front move in late Saturday night into Sunday, really changing things up across the area. So let me get rid of that and bring up our weather headlines for today. If you're new to the program, we like to give you the forecast right off the bat. We'll talk for maybe 40 minutes or so, sometimes longer, sometimes a little bit shorter, depending on how long-winded I get, how many questions we get. Thanks for dropping in the comments, saying hello. If you have a weather question, put it in there. And again, then we'll look at the forecast, the weather history, I should say. We'll look at some weather jokes, stupid weather jokes. We'll have your detailed forecast. Around 10:20, we'll dig into the weather model data. The really nerdy portion of the show, and then we'll do a recap towards the end. So thanks for joining us on the show this morning, especially, wherever you're watching from. Thanks for the like or the subscribe on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Extol Weather, EXTOL on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, and extolmag.com/weather on the World Wide Web. So our weather headlines, back to it here. We got 60s through Saturday, so staying on the mild side, some showers and a few thunderstorms Friday. Gusty with that front moving through Friday. The cold snap is Sunday and Monday, a brief one, and then perhaps a chance of some flurries. The play ball forecast today, I'm going to try to get out, maybe take on my son Brady in a end-of-the-year golf championship out at Hidden Creek. So wish me luck. He's playing really good. 70 degrees, our high temperature today, so upper 60s, low 70s, gusty conditions, but sunshine. And those temperatures in the 60s for much of this evening. I'm going to look at some of the comments here popping in. We've got, as usual, Beverly Haggis, the first in the comments here this morning from Borden, Indiana. Well, I hope you feel better, Beverly, and everything turns out okay for you. Dennis Gregory from Bedford, Indiana. Sunny Bedford, and the wind's whipping up in Bedford as well. Probably some gusts up there around 20 miles per hour, I imagine. And we got Orlean Whitlow dropping in the comments here from Hodgenville with a very good morning with 49 degrees with the low, and then now 54 degrees. Love the backyard thermometer reports. Keep them coming every day. And Perry Porter with nice weather. And I like to do the cheers every morning with Perry here. We got the big happy. All right. And Christian Walker with 58 there in Carmel, Indiana. with the countdown, we talk about every morning too. Looking at kind of the milestones ahead. 50 days until Christmas, 57 until New Year's. All right, there you go. And Christian says we'll have some 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I believe you will today. It is definitely a gusty one out there. All right, let me bring up to the stage. And we were looking at again, a live look out there. Actually, we got two live looks. We got that one, and then we got this one as we look here at the corner of Market and Vincennes here in Uptown in New Albany. Again, just a beautiful start to the day. Ooh, the other camera's got a boat cruising in. Sorry. Oh, there's the boat, left side of the screen. Somebody's going fishing this morning. Cruising up there. They're at the Falls of the Ohio. Good for them getting out, going fishing this morning. A little jealous of that. All right. We're cruising along. I'm going to give you a resource here. So we've got our live stream of it, extolmag.com/weather. You can see we've got current conditions. So it's 56 degrees. You've got this guy right here will track the sun throughout the day. Where it's at in the sky. You get your sunrise, sunset, moonrise, moonset, lots of different weather variables here. You've got your hourly forecast that you can see right there. And then you get your daily weather forecast right there. I've got my brand new 7-day forecast, the brand new weather story posted, some other weather resources right here. The day 1 and day 2 risk of severe weather, by the way, is 0. But day 3, there is something to talk about there with our Friday. We're doing good this morning, Christian. How are you doing, buddy? As we cruise on down, not anything to talk about rain-wise on the interactive radar, but you can also plot the temperatures. As we see, we've got some 50s and 60s. So a pretty good warm-up today with those southwest winds and high temperatures around 70 degrees. Closest rain showers here on the interactive map up towards the Great Lakes. But you can see weather all across our northern hemisphere here. There's where it's cold. We got some negative numbers up here in the Northwest Territories in Canada, parts of Alaska in the teens. Eventually, some of that cold air is going to be dropping our direction. We've got Christian is good to hear that. And we got Lillian Lasley with 58 degrees at her house. Thanks for that report right there. We've also got a look here at the Brown County Hotel, Restaurant, and Bar with the Leaf camera here, as it's definitely peaking right now. I would say after our freeze, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, if we get another windy system after that, we'll see a lot of the leaves dropping off the trees. So we're also talking about that flurry potential. Right now, it looks like this is pivotal weather, by the way. You can go here and for free, you can look at a lot of the weather models, by the way. And this is the European weather model Monday showing a chance for some flurries. It's kind of the only model showing the flurries there Monday. The GFS and the Canadian are pretty dry. We'll talk more about that here in just a second. Lillian, not good luck to Brady. Good luck to me. Dad's got to try to win. I'm running out of wins when it comes to golf and really any sports with my son. He's whooping me. But I beat him in the beginning of the year. He's beaten me pretty much the rest of the year. I need to play good to have a chance. No hurricanes here to track over the next 7 days. Nothing happening with that. Okay, so we'll talk more about the cold snap coming our way later this weekend. I want to give a shout out to our partners here, Ivy Tech. Go to ivytech.edu, locations, boom, Sellersburg right there. And they are expanding. They've got, they're building a Baptist Health urgent care place, and they're also, it's called Family Scholar House. And so they're expanding their campus, lots of going on there, and really helping out their students in many, many different ways. And you can find out many different ways they're helping out their students by going here to the ivytech.edu. But you can also get that one-on-one assistance and sign up for Tuesdays at the Tech here. And you got career coaching, how to register, how to pay for it, and get the free credits, by the way, if you're in high school with the dual credit program. All right. And Lions Roofing. I played golf with one of their guys yesterday who barely beat me, but we won't talk about it. It was gorgeous out there at Covered Bridge. Speaking at covering things, make sure your roof is in good shape. Protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. Here is Lyons Roofing, Lyons, family-owned company right out of Memphis, Indiana. They got you covered on both sides of the river, though, throughout Louisville Metro, 812-294-3595. And they've personally helped my family. My mom had to get her roof repaired after the couple trees dropped on her house in March. But just cruising down here, you can learn more about their company and what they have to offer right there. Also, if you want to see if there's some discounts going on, this guy can help you with your insurance. They've had price reductions with their auto renewals. I saw that on my bill. So I want to give you a recommendation to give this guy a call for a quote, 812-578-3072. Tell him I sent you, and you can go to amfam.com and then search Michael Long and go to his page right here. Our friends at Libs Paving have been busy. You've probably seen them out on some of the roadways, top asphalt paving contractor around. So there might be some opportunities for you or a family member. If you go to their career section, they've got some job openings and maybe a new opportunity for someone you know. So check that out. And we are checking out a beautiful start to the day. Starting to see the leaves blowing around a little bit more. Right outside the windows, it's going to be a gusty one out there. And Orlean asking, granddaughter's taking a trip down to North Carolina around the mountains. How do you think the weather is going to be looking for Sunday in that area? It will also be cold. We'll take a look at that here, Orlean, in just a second. We're now going to get into the more detailed forecast portion of the program here this morning. Thanks for joining us, by the way, on Ben at 10. We've got a lot to talk about, actually, for today. If you ever want to reach out and connect with us for any advertising and marketing solutions, we're reaching well over 1 million people per month just on my page, but it gets a lot bigger with the power of Extol Media here in Southern Indiana and beyond. Ben at extolmag.com or Jason at extolmag.com. So again, the weather headlines here for today. Air quality is good, D. Allen. 60s through Saturday, showers and thunderstorms Friday, cold snap Sunday, Monday, and a chance for maybe a few flurries. Our play ball forecast, 70 degrees, our high temperature, and then 60s this evening. Southwest winds at around 15 to 30 miles per hour. Our countdown here, 6 days until average highs in the 50s, average first flurries in about 10 days, Thanksgiving in 22 days, and Christmas is in just 50 days. We've got a big weather history here with some local stuff in it as well. Just 1 second. I was just making sure everything was good there. All right, so moving along here. 1985. This shows you the power and the danger of flooding here. Catastrophic flooding in West Virginia, Pennsylvania from the remnants of Hurricane Juan. And this slow-moving upper-level trough moved eastward over the Ohio Valley, high-pressure ridge over the eastern seaboard, and low-level jet stream carrying large quantities of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, the Gulf, whatever you want to call it, combined to form the storm. Rainfall amounts ranged up to 20 inches. Some flood peaks were the greatest ever recorded. Nearly 20,000 homes were damaged, dozens of bridges damaged and washed away. 62 people died, and property damage was estimated at $1.4 billion. 1985. 1987, flash floods, another flooding one here, stranded 8,000 people in Death Valley National Park in Southern California as more than an inch of rain fell. Doesn't seem like much. Washing out many roads, 30 vehicles stranded, and some hail. 1991, Typhoon Thelma, one of the most devastating tropical systems that hit the Philippines in the 20th century. Reports of 5,000 people dying in that catastrophic event with dam failures, landslides, extensive flash flooding. And then 1991, Indianapolis had a record low temperature for today's date at 15 degrees. Louisville sets a record low of 18 on the same year, the same day. So we had a cold spell, 1991. 2002, Alabama's perfect record for the year was spoiled when a man was killed in his home when a tornado struck Abbeville. 5 days later, a larger tornado outbreak killed 12 people in the state. And then last year, Louisville sets a record high temperature of 81. That's back-to-back record highs for Louisville, yesterday's date and today's date. Our weather jokes here, although not always weather-related, but they're always stupid. What do you call bears with no ears? B. Get it? EARS. You take that out and you're just left with B. Good kindergarten joke there. What happens to a talking tree when you cut it down? It will dialogue. Die a log. Dad, can you explain what a solar eclipse is? No, son. No, sun. No S-U-N. Why is it bad to eat a clock? Because it's so time consuming. We're moving on. All right, here's your forecast today. Christian, that'll be Friday for you for that rain chance. We'll take a look here in just a sec with the weather models. Today's forecast for our Wednesday, November 5th, 70 degrees, sunny and breezy, 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts. Our sunset at 5:39. And tonight's low temperature, a little bit cooler out there, 41 our low, a little bit chilly, light north breeze. The winds will calm down tonight after some gusty conditions today. And tomorrow's forecast for our Thursday, November the 6th, some lower 40s getting started, so some jacket weather there. 50s at noon and 62, so a touch cooler tomorrow afternoon, but right at our normal high temperature at 62 degrees. Orlean, enjoying the weather history too. Thank you. Thank you for that. Here's the 7-day forecast. So we'll stay in the 60s through Saturday. We've got the front that'll likely be here Friday morning and into part of the afternoon. Should be drying out, I'd say, mid-afternoon Friday for much of the area. And then 64 Saturday, quiet in between systems there. Then we've got that, I would say, our first winter feel, the crashing temperatures here. Sunday, Monday, we're looking at lower 40s. So a 20-degree drop in temperatures from Saturday to Sunday, down to the 20s Sunday night, down to the 20s Monday night. So we get a hard freeze. That'll kill off the bugs, get rid of the pollen, totally the end of the growing season, which we're already at the end of. Anyway, there might be a couple flurries that try to mix in. I don't think we'll get much precipitation out of this system Sunday and Monday. The Euro is showing some flurry chances Monday. The GFS was dry. So we might sneak in a couple snowflakes. We'll see. I think the best chance of that's probably Sunday overnight period when we've got that cold air in place. Lily and Lasley always got my back with the jokes. Glad you enjoy. And we're talking about that right now here, Christian. You might get a few of those flurries on Sunday. And Veterans Day next week, 48 degrees. We're starting to climb out of that brief cold snap with 58 degrees next Wednesday. It is 10:18, and so we are ready to fire up the weather models here, and we'll time out our Friday rain in detail here for you. So let me bring it up. Let me get rid of that and bring this up here. There's our current conditions. We've got a dry front moving through today. You can see the cold air up to the northwest. We're not really going to get much of that cold air. It just gets a little bit cooler. Again, lower 40s tonight and lower 60s for tomorrow. And I'm going to bring up the NAM 3-kilometer, a high-resolution weather model. It's going to take us through our Friday. And I'm going to start off Friday morning on the 7th. We'll go here. We back up our view, NAM 3-kilometer, reflectivity, and into our Friday morning. And while that loads, a little sip. So there we go. There you can see that rain. Christian, you were asking about it as well. So you're going to see it heading your direction here on Friday. I need to get rid of my little drawing there. There we go. So this is at 5 a.m. I'm going to jump this ahead to 8 o'clock Friday morning. Here comes that cold front. There you can see it moving through Indianapolis. So you'll get that rain in the morning time up there in Indy, Christian. And John with a good morning and congratulations to Christian Walker on the new job. Very nice. So that is at 8 o'clock. I'm going to jump ahead to 10 o'clock Friday morning. Notice southern Indiana getting that rain first. Some breezy rain showers here. And as we go towards lunchtime on Friday, I would say it's midday is probably the best chance of rain for most of us in our area. So late morning, early afternoon kind of time frame for Friday. Going into the afternoon, this is at 2 p.m. Notice southern Indiana is starting to dry out. And then Kentucky has some lingering showers and maybe a few thunderstorms as well. This is at 3 p.m. And this is at 4 o'clock. That rain's starting to move off to the east. So it's a pretty short-lived rain event. Very low threat of severe weather with this. And we might pick up quarter, half inch of rainfall since it's moving quickly enough. So not a real significant system. Now, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the Climate Prediction Center. They are a division of the National Weather Service out of Norman, Oklahoma. Their one big job is to look across the United States and see where severe weather might happen. So day 1, day 2, nothing happening. We're going to go to day 3, and there you can see we've got a little bit of action here. So not really any threat in southern Indiana, but notice we've got level 1 and 2 in Kentucky. The level 2 is the yellow area around Bowling Green. That does include Hart, Greene, Taylor, Adair, and Marion counties. LaRue County as well there for you, Orlean. I think that this is for the chance of some isolated strong wind gusts if we get a thunderstorm to develop, because there are some strong winds in the atmosphere. And sometimes if you get a thunderstorm to grow into that, it can kind of channel those strong winds to the ground. So that is that. But most of Indiana, as you can see, no threat of severe weather for Friday. But something to look at there with the day 3 risk of severe storms from. We can also look. This is the wind probabilities of some strong wind gusts. There you go. Moving right along here. Christian, 80% chance of rain Friday. I mean, it's pretty close to 100% chance that you'll get some raindrops on Friday, if that's what you were referencing there. Just back to a quick look before we get into the weather models. Look at all that sunshine across the region. Just a few clouds up to the north. Closest rain really up towards the Great Lakes. Really quiet conditions. Our ISO bars, the lines of equal air pressure, are somewhat tight. These are lines of air pressure. And so that means the air is flowing through that at a pretty good clip. It is a little bit breezy. So that's why we're going to have some pretty good wind gusts. Dry front, though, moving into the area. You've got low pressure right here up around the Great Lakes, in a front right about there. But it's moisture starved. So as it moves through our region, you're really not going to notice it, other than it's going to be kind of gusty out there with the windy conditions. All right, let's talk crashing temperatures. So we got the Friday rain we just timed out. And by the way, we can bring up the rainfall totals forecast here. Total precipitation. Maybe I need this one. Okay, this is rainfall total for our Friday. And not a big deal. Not worried about any flooding. Right now, we've got a bullseye of potentially some heavier rain toward Lexington, central Kentucky, where you might get some 1-inch amounts there. Southern Indiana, not as much of that rain. So I would say, quarter, half inch maybe of rainfall there for our Friday. Okay, now let's talk temps. I'm going to switch this over to our temperature mode with the GFS weather model. That's not a good color that you want to see if you don't like cold weather, because that is cold weather. And look at that dropping in from Canada. Jet stream taking a dive, opening the door to old man winter-like temperatures. So this is a map on 7 a.m. on the 10th, Monday morning. We're going to back this up first. This is showing basically 20s all over the place. Even cold down towards the Gulf Coast. Chilly stuff. And so when we so that's the temperatures Monday morning. And when we bring up the jet stream winds, look at this dive in the jet stream. Pretty interesting. This is crazy. Jet stream goes way up like this. That is a huge amplified ridge. It'll be warm out west under that ridge, but then it takes a huge dive. And in these troughs in the jet stream, this is around 18,000 feet, you get cold weather. This is all cold stuff filling in the trough. So that's where we're at, a brief, big cold snap on the way. So let's bring up the temperature map here. So this is going to get us used to. We got to get gradually used to winter-like conditions, and this will help us do that, I guess. So this is Sunday. I'm going to zoom in here, and we're going to watch these temperatures crash. And I'm going to bring this back to Saturday. Saturday right there. Notice, it's actually going to be pretty mild Saturday. There you can see we are in the 60s here. We're on the warm side Saturday. But then as we look ahead here, there you can see the temperatures crashing Saturday night. It'll be warmest probably Sunday morning for Sunday, but it's going to be kind of an opposite day where there's basically no warm up for us. This is now looking at Sunday afternoon. Woo, that's looking chilly. We're probably talking upper 30s, low 40s for Sunday afternoon. Time to break out the bigger coats here, guys. The coldest air we've had so far this season. The weather models have been doing a good job with it. We've been talking about this cold snap for a long time now. So, the long-range forecast, the Ben on a limb actually panning out with the long-range data as the European and the GFS and the Canadian long-range data all agrees with this cold snap. So now we're going into Sunday night, and that's that pink color. Now we're into Monday morning, and we'll look at some of these temperatures here, even show some lower 20s. We might get some lower 20s in some outlying areas. This will be a hard freeze for us, which is good. Again, it's good to get a good freeze this time of the year. Into the growing season, into the bug season, gets rid of the wasps and the hornets. Those yellow jackets can be kind of crazy this time of the year. So to get rid of those, they'll be gone. And, getting rid of pretty much all the pollen as well, if there's any left over. All right, that's Monday morning on the 10th. We're going to go into Monday afternoon, and it is cold. We're looking at lower 40s for Monday afternoon. All right, and then we'll jump ahead to our Tuesday morning next week at 7 a.m. and more 20s. So a couple of hard freezes back to back. Might have to get the wood stove going there for early next week. So, but this is only like a 2-3 day chilly spell as we warm right back up by the middle of next week. So that is Veterans Day morning on Tuesday. We're into the 11th afternoon. Still chilly, but not as bad as Monday. We're looking at probably upper 40s to near 50 degrees on Tuesday. And then as we go into our Wednesday, starting to look a little bit better. We're getting rid of the blue, starting to see some yellow, which means some upper 50s, lower 60s across the area next Wednesday. Getting out of that chill. Going into next Thursday, this is on the 13th. Notice the warm air starting to wind back out, the cold air getting shoved off to the northeast. They're looking good down here in Texas, 80s there, 70s just out to our west. We're not going to be quite that warm, kind of on the edge there between the cold and the warm. We're kind of normal in the middle here. And then going into next Friday, I believe that's the 14th. Notice some warmer air starting to move our way. So again, that's just a short cold spell that we get Sunday into Monday, and then it looks like that warm air starts to move back into our region. And going into the 15th, so not this weekend, into the following weekend. Look at that. If that happens, it's going to be feeling really good across the area for November. A mid-November warm-up is showing up on this portion of the show. Been on a limb, and we've got some hair in the coffee. A little extra protein this morning. All right, so we're looking at long-range outlook, not this weekend, the following weekend, and hey, maybe a decent warm-up right there. Going into the 16th. What is the 16th? 16th would be Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday, November the 16th. And the warm air is winning. Look at that. That would be awesome. We'll see. That would be a mid-November warm-up right there. You can see that. So the cold air is out west. We got this warm air over the eastern United States, mid-November. Looking down the road, and we're almost done with the long-range forecast, and we'll give you a recap of our forecast here in just a second. Still warm there on the 17th. We're getting towards the end of the GFS weather model. Not much happening there. Now we're getting into the 19th. And nothing crazy. So just a 2 or 3 day cold spell, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then we're off towards a warmer weather pattern, it looks like. And so as we bring up the Climate Prediction Center, the CPC, this is the 6 to 10 day outlook that'll load up here. And so this starts off cold. We showed you the jet stream a second ago, really big ridge out west where it's warm, but we've got the below normal temperatures coming our way. Again, this is referencing early next week. The blue is below normal temperatures, high confidence there, and this is above normal out west. That's the 6 to 10 day outlook, but I think that'll change as we bring up the 8 to 14 day outlook, and we'll start to see that ridge out west move to the east, and we start to warm up again late next week, and that's why we see some of that orange spreading our direction. Okay, that there is the long-range outlook, and has been the Ben on a Limb segment, which means we're just looking at the long-range outlook, going out on a limb, checking out what might happen there. That was like 384 hours out. Time for the forecast recap here. And let's bring it up. And Carol Payne popping in the comments this morning. Good morning to you. Thanks for the beautiful day. It is going to be very nice. We'll see some leaves probably falling off the trees with some of the gusty conditions across the area. The leaf blowers will be working hard here over the next couple of weeks. I hear a kitty cat. That's Elvira. All right, here's your forecast. 60s through Saturday, showers and thunderstorms Friday, and a cold snap there Sunday and Monday. Maybe we'll sneak in some flurries at some point Sunday into Monday. The play ball forecast today, it's going to be a breezy one. Again, I'm going to try to take on my son Brady at Hidden Creek Golf Club for the end of the year championship between he and I. And I'm going to have to play really well. He's playing really good. He's shooting in the 70s right now. And so upper 60s, low 70s, nice and mild out there, sunshine. The only issue is it's going to be a little breezy. Average highs in the 50s in 6 days. Average first flurries in 10 days. We might get ahead of that. Thanksgiving, 22 days, and Christmas is in around 50 days. A lot of weather history. I'm going to slap that on Facebook at around noon if you want to look at that. We talked a lot more about it here earlier in the show. If you want to watch the replay, there's a lot of flooding involved. But also, I'm guessing you guys don't remember this. 1991, we had a cold snap. Indianapolis set a record low of 15 degrees on this date. And then Louisville set a record low of 18 degrees on this date. But last year, we hit a record high of 81 degrees in Louisville. Our stupid weather jokes here. What do you call bears with no ears? B. Take off the EARS. What happens to a talking tree when you cut it down? It will die a log. Dad, can you explain what a solar eclipse is? No, son. Why is it bad to eat a clock? Because it's so time consuming. All right, the forecast here today. I need a laugh track to play. That would help me out. I need a little, I'm going to drop in a laugh track, I think. That'll be good. A high of 70 degrees today, sunny and breezy, southwest winds 15 to 30. And tonight, a little bit cooler, looking at lower 40s for our low temperatures as the dry front will move on through. Really won't notice that a front moves through other than a wind shift. The winds will be light tonight. The winds will calm down from the north. And tomorrow, a little bit cooler, lower 40s in the morning. Definitely a jacket to get started. 50s at noon, 62 the afternoon high. That is right at our normal high for this time of the year, which is 62 degrees. Hi, Elvira. What are you doing? Well, good to see you. 7:14 sunrise, sunset at 5:38. Elvira wants to be on the show this morning. Kitty, can you hear the kitty? All right. 65 Friday, pretty mild as the rain moves through. I think the best rain chance is going to be morning, early afternoon Friday. We should be drying out, I'd say, by mid-afternoon. Quiet and mild Saturday, and then the crashing temperatures there Sunday. We're looking at lower 40s Sunday afternoon, so a good 20-degree drop in temperatures from Saturday to Sunday, and down to the 20s Sunday night and Monday nights. So hard freezes there. Might get a couple flurries. Our Veterans Day Tuesday looks a little bit better, 48 degrees, down to 37 Tuesday night. And then Wednesday, back in the upper 50s, maybe low 60s. And then if you were watching a second ago, when we were looking at the long-range outlook, next weekend looks like it could be on the warm side. So we might not be done with 60s, maybe even 70s, as it looks like we'll have some warmer weather moving in next week. Lillian Lasley knows us toward the end of the show here. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck to Brady and I. He'll probably win. So it's No Shave November. Here we are on the 5th, and this is what we've got. This is going to be looking scruffier and scruffier through the rest of the month. So I apologize, however this ends up looking as we go day by day here through the month of November. But I've never had a chance working in television to do the no shave, so we're doing it. Mike Sievert with a good morning. Thanks for watching here this morning, Mike. We'll take a couple of looks outside, and we'll wrap it up here on a Wednesday. And there's another beautiful morning as we look here live with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. Had a boat cruising through there a second ago. Someone fishing there. The Brown County in camera looking gorgeous as well. You can see the leaves blowing in the breezes there. I'd say a touch windier the farther north you get across the area today. And this is pivotal weather. You can go here for free and look at the weather models. And that's the Euro. The Euro is kind of the lone ranger here, showing a decent snow chance on Monday. I'm doubting that right now, but we'll continue to fine-tune that. And Mike, for you, the weather is going to be nice up in Cleveland tomorrow. And actually, since you asked that question, let me bring this back up. Actually, no, I'm going to do a faster thing. So you can go to our friends at weather.gov, the National Weather Service, who are impacted, by the way, by the government shutdown, but they're still working. Weather.gov. We're going to go up here to Cleveland, Ohio for tomorrow. And yeah, looking good. 51 degrees, mostly sunny. And just a northwest wind around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then they've got the rain for Friday up there in Cleveland. Okay, Sellersburg, Ivy Tech campus, a lot going on there. You're welcome, Mike. Thanks for the question. So I want to give a shout out to our partners, ivytech.edu. It is the Sellersburg campus. They've got a bunch of information here, dozens of 2-year certifications. Tuesdays at the Tech is where you can get registered for career coaching, financial assistance, veterans benefits, an in-depth visit with a faculty member right there They're at Highway 311, I-65, 9 miles north, exit 9, right off I-65. Nice, beautiful campus right there. Very convenient. And I'm driving by it all the time, actually. A lot of time when I'm getting my fast food right around there, get your McDonald's, you got your Taco Bell, you got your Starbucks, you got your Burger King. But yeah, you can find a lot of information here. ivytech.edu. Go to locations, go to Sellersburg. You're going to find out a lot more there. Get the dual credit if you're in high school, if you can do that as well. Free college credits. Lyons Roofing, our friends here, Lyons. If you've got any roofing issues, if you see any leaky things happening in your drywall, if you see any shingles that look a little iffy, you might get a free estimate here. And you can also call either side of the river. They've got you covered. Louisville Metro, 812-294-3595. Had a chance to play some golf with one of their guys yesterday who barely beat me on the golf course, but it was fun. Also, I want to give you a shout out to my buddy Michael Long here. Proud to be an American Star Certified Agency, Excellence in Customer Experience. If you want to see if you can get a price reduction and more ways to save on auto and all things here insurance, give them a call, get a quote, tell them I sent you, 812-578-3072. You can go to amfam.com, AMFAM, and then just search Michael Long right there, and it'll take you right to his page and his contacts. Also, Libs Paving. They've been busy. You might see their equipment out trying to finish up a bunch of 2025 jobs. Top asphalt paving contractor around. They do more than that, but they've got maybe a career opportunity for you or a family member. They've got a career section. You can check that out right there and apply online. I want to remind you as well, we've got a lot of resources here for free too at extolmag.com/weather. What's cool is we're updating, we're improving as we go along. We've got the current weather conditions, as you can see right here. This follows the sun up through the sky. It's got moon rises, moon sets, just a lot of data here with the current conditions. And then you got your hour-by-hour forecast right there. Then you got your daily forecast that goes all the way to the middle of next week. Then you got my 7-day forecast right there. You got your weather story, regional weather maps, and the interactive map where you can plot winds, you can plot temperatures, other alerts that might be out there. And we've got a gusty wind out there now, taking off the winds. Some of the wind gusts I see around 20. So blowing around 15 to 20 in spots with the winds here on the interactive map. Also, if you can like or subscribe, that goes a long way for us here on the YouTube channel. We may be doing something other than Ben at 10. We might be covering severe weather or a snowstorm, whatever it might be. You'll get the notification there. You can see that red button to subscribe. That takes you to Extol Media, EXTOL, right there. All right. Hi, Elvira. And thanks for watching. Whether it's on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, extolmag.com/weather on the World Wide Web. And we got Christian Walker with a goodbye. Thank you for watching, sir. Going back to school tomorrow, and congratulations on getting that job once again there, Christian. All right. Beautiful day today. Beautiful tomorrow. Rain Friday. Nice Saturday. Crashing temperatures Sunday, Monday. We'll talk all about it. We'll fine-tune the timing of that rain for Friday on tomorrow's show. It's 10:44. We've been talking a long time. You guys have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.